They are literally the most insufferable, race-obsessed fucking huckster going that you can imagine. If this is what I have to see on International Transgender Day of Visibility, I'm having second thoughts about the whole thing, to be honest.
The caucasity of it all.
What's that got to do with white people? This person is racist. Soulbunni is a racist freak. But let me ask you this before I get into it, okay? Do you guys know who Soulbunni is? Are you familiar with Soulbunni? Does that name mean anything to you guys? I can imagine most of you are going to have no clue what I'm talking about. Soulbunni is a black woke soy YouTuber, okay? And they are the kind of like absolutely typical, oh, the whites. They're the kind of person that would write white as YT, okay? They are literally the most insufferable, race-obsessed fucking huckster going that you can imagine, okay? And they got into like beef with Keffals. It was all to do with like Keffals talking. Basically, they're fucking soy and cringe. That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know going into this, okay? No, it's not the black gamer girl thing, but they're exactly the kind of person that would be into that and be worse and more anti-white. I've covered them before on the channel because they're an absolute fucking joke and it's funny to laugh at them. And I'm hoping this is going to give us some dividends. And because Keffals is apparently involved, we can, you know, bring that into it. Okay. Okay. Guys, I just typed in Soulbunni to YouTube, and this is the first result that I get. If this is what I have to see on International Transgender Day of Visibility, I'm having second thoughts about the whole thing, to be honest. Okay? I mean, what? That's not Soulbunni, is it?
Dressed, I'm still like the playing stuff. I was hoping my Catholic.
Is this Soulbunni? That's not what Soulbunni looks like, is it? What? Huh? What is going on? They look like different, didn't they, before?
I was hoping my Catholic mom, would have funny reaction, but she just went, "It's Easter." Yeah.
Looks like Gus Fring. You guys are fucking brutal and vicious. That is not on. I disavow completely. No, I swear to God that before, when I've covered their video, they looked completely different to this. Guys, I'm not fucking crazy. Anyway, this is what I've seen of them before.
The first part.
Okay. No, there's a different thing. No, okay. I'm not crazy. This is the image I'm thinking of. Look here. Look at this thumbnail. Look. They don't look the same, do they? They look totally different to how they look in the video. Transphobia and trans misogynoir. Okay. Okay, guys. I don't know if I've even talked about this before, but someone linked it in my Discord. I thought it was new. It's not. It's 5 months old. But I don't care. I'm in too deep at this point, okay? There's no going back. We're watching this, and whatever happens, happens, okay? Why white leftists and debate bros are our biggest hindrance. Transphobia and trans misogynoir. White queer behavior. Okay, so they can make a video called white queer behavior, and that's okay. I make a video talking about queer behavior, and all of a sudden I'm a fucking bigot. The white leftist industrial complex. Rosa Parks tried to warn you. Stop asking black women if our hair is real. A tired microaggression. Does that still happen? These fucking... Content warning. Triggering conversations on black hair. Triggering conversations on black hair, bro.
How do I make money off depressed people?
Soulbunni is now a bunny, not a woman.
but the fella is begging for money.
Come on,
The
man.
dude should go the way of the samurai or the way of James Summerton, if you will.
Thank you very much for the 333. Misogynoir microaggressions.
Hey, it's Soulbunni. This is a conversation I've really been wanting to have for the longest, especially in regards of my own experience.
What the... Huh? What the... Hold on. Slow down. What the fuck happened there? That is not what I was expecting, okay? Guys, listen. People think I came up with misogynoir. The reason I talked about misogynoir is in the midst of Will Smith slapping Chris Rock at the Oscars, there were a bunch of fucking black soys talking about misogynoir and said it was an act of misogynoir when Chris Rock mocked Jada Pinkett Smith for a fucking bald head. For a black bald head that looked like a fucking 8-ball, okay? They were saying it was misogynoir, so I took that and thought that's such a funny term. I know it sounds like a joke, but it is actually a serious term that people use, okay? And it's in reference to misogyny experienced specifically by black women. They're getting so obsessed with splitting along identity lines that they're now splitting alongside numerous lines within one aspect, you know? Pull up the clip. I only watched it the other day. Misogynoir.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
$5 from Alex Theriot. Isn't this the chocolate rain guy?
No! No, it is not the chocolate rain guy at all. What is this? I'm trying to find it, but I can't.
Nobody can change my mind. I mean, straight up.
Wait,
Same
what is
guy,
this?
by the way, says him.
Oh, I know what this clip is. Okay, this is a fucking classic. This is Stone Cold classic. I forgot about this one. I need to do it.
Nobody can change my mind. I mean, straight up. Same guy, by the way, says him. What? I don't even know. Is this guy a leftist, right winger? I don't know what the fuck this guy's doing.
And wrapping it up in your doctor shit, you can fuck off. No, I don't give a fuck about someone's religion, but when you're promoting it and wrapping it up in your doctor shit, you can fuck off. No, you're trying to do the woke shit. Oh, don't laugh at his religion. No, fuck you. If someone's promoting bullshit quackery, I'm going to fucking say it's bullshit quackery. Fuck off. No fucking way you're going to pull that woke shit with me. It ain't going to fucking happen, okay? I'm literally immune to that shit, okay? Because I'm fucking racist, okay? Because I'm racist. The fact that it's some woo-woo Indian shit and it's brown people doing it makes it even better for me. It adds racism to the criticism. And I fucking love being racist, okay? I fucking love being racist.
Face,
so if anything, I'm glad it's brown people doing this. Because I can...
Oh, man. That was a funny drama. Basically, I can't remember what it was about. Someone was editing a Wikipedia page, and I think they were editing the Wikipedia page for slurs, and I noticed it, and then I saw and played that clip. I'm still here. What do you mean? I say shit all the time. People act like I've changed dramatically. I don't think I have that much. Have I? You be the judge. You be the judge. The Dr. K shit was great, yeah. I was getting, yeah, that was... I was spurging out a bit, that's true. That is true. But it was funny. It was just so crazy to me that there were these people that were acting like it's actually totally fine that someone claiming to be a Harvard doctor is talking about fucking dosha And oh yeah, actually, you could totally predict COVID outcomes based on fucking Ayurvedic fucking knowledge. Like, what you want about? It's nuts. It's loopy. It's fucking insane. And this guy's claiming to be a doctor and pushing it on that fucking line. Insanity. Anyway, that's why I was being a bit, perturbed. That was when I was at my old place. It was probably quite late, so I had to, had to be quiet. But I'm soundproof now. Yeah, exactly. It's pseudoscience. It's just 100% certified pseudoscience bullshit. Anyway, sorry, we're getting off the track here, okay? Listen, I'm not here to talk about... Enough about my racist past. Let's talk about my racist future, okay? So anyway, there's a funny clip of me. I can't seem to get it offhand. We're not really here to watch this video. I don't think I ever watched this video in the first place. It's from 5 months ago. It should never have gotten to this point. Have I covered this? Someone linked this to me like it was new, but it's not. It's fine. If I've not covered it, I'll talk about it. Or we can look at... Rhinox, you're saying yes. What is that yes to? As in I did cover it. Listen, this is a fucking great channel. So regardless, we're covering something. Whether or not it's this video or the latest one or something. Did I see it? Okay, we're watching this. Fuck it. If I watched it before, we watched it before. We'll go with this one. We need to change the title, though. Here we go again. Sorry, I fucked up.
Hey, it's Soulbunni. This is a conversation I've really been wanting to have for the longest, especially in regards of my own experiences that you'll hear later on in the video. This is a topic that Black women, Black femmes, and other Black folks have been having year after year after year, because apparently people still don't get that it's not okay to ask if Black femmes, Black people in general, if our hair is real. Something that you expect not to happen, especially post George Floyd. But yet, of course, a bunch of non-Black people...
Yo, Floydism. When was the last time I spoke about fucking Floydism, guys? I've not spoken about Floydism for fucking months. That's still a thing.
Israel. Something that you expect not to happen, especially post George Floyd. But yet, of course, a bunch of non-Black people and people will have a lot of audacity who will complain.
Yo, any Floyders in chat? Any Floyders? Floyders, we're so back. When was the last time we got to talk about George Floyd? Let's go, based. Floydism is alive and well.
Completely just disregard that it's just common sense not to do this. It's the fact that a lot of these type of tropes have came from Hollywood. The first concept of these stereotypes of Black women not being able to grow their hair, of us all our hair being fake, and etc. is them digesting it from media that is showing the worst of us, that's showing our stereotypes, that's showing just racist depictions of us that just doesn't align with who we are. It's this generalization that we still just can't...
Okay, before we get into this shit, okay, can we just be very clear about something, okay? Obviously, it is insane to go up to someone, regardless of what their fucking race is, okay, and go, can I touch your fucking hair? Like, obviously, don't do that. That's insane, right? However, is this real hair? Is this real? All I'm saying is, I'm not trying to be bigoted. All I'm saying is, there is an intersection there. Trans woman, Black, okay, both demographics, there's a high usage of wigs. That's all I'm fucking saying, okay? Not being bigoted, just speaking straight facts right now.
Away from. Like I said, we've been having this conversation year after year after year. It's been decades old and we still are fighting this. And it's to a point where I'm done. We've all been done, but we're still here nonetheless having these conversations. I'm here making an entire video about this whole topic because I and other Black folks are still dealing with these microaggressions, are still being asked.
Is this even true? Okay, listen, look, I'm the fucking white guy that's here to speak the truth about this shit. Is this even fucking true? Do Black people really have to contend repeatedly, regularly with people trying to fucking touch their hair? Really? Is that still a thing? Okay, if you're saying no, I'm asking the black women in my audience to speak your truth. Stand up and shout from the rooftops, my queens. Is it happening? Yes or no? Okay. It happens, but it's so infrequent. Right, okay. Okay. Is it frequent enough to justify a month ago making a 23-minute video about it, I guess, moaning about it? That's the question, isn't it?
If our hair is real, whether we're wearing our hair naturally out or not, whether our natural hair is dyed or not being allowed to be alternative, dressed in styles that doesn't align with our stereotypes or what they think black folks are supposed to be. There's also this whole fact about this question is a very racialized question because it's one that only black women are subjected to. I live in a PWI. It means predominantly white institution.
We're getting into all the best bit. PWI, that's a new one. I've never heard that one before. What is PWI? That's brand new. They're creating new fucking woke language for us to contend with.
That only black women are subjected to. I live in a PWI. It means predominantly white institution. In a white area, I am the token black person around, and I have times where I'm forced to go into public. And in those instances, when it has mostly have been times when I sold my art, has been when I've dealt with that. I had times as well when I went out drinking and have encountered some bigoted white people who had the audacity, or what I would say, the caucasity, to ask me if my hair is real. And it's
Listen, if you want to use that word, that's fine. The caucasity, okay? I got a few words I'm not even allowed to fucking say on these platforms, right? Sometimes I just wish that these platforms were a bit more flexible, that I could just say something absolutely despicable but hilarious, you know? Or you got to come up with your fancy little word. Well, I tell you what I'm going to talk about today. It's redacted behavior. That's my term that I'm going to use, okay? But I can't say it. I'm not allowed to. I could get fucking banned from Twitch and YouTube for saying that. Ridiculous.
It's extra offensive to me because I'm privileged. I'm a mixed race person. I have 3C hair. That's a looser curl pattern compared to someone with 4C, which is kinkier,
Okay, that's
tighter.
wonderful.
I'm half
But
Mexican.
how do I make money off depressed
Oh, the half
people?
Mexican
That's wonderful.
too.
But how do I make
thanks for the super
money
chats.
off depressed people?
Chud is a German. I must say most weave-pulling crimes tend to happen from other weave-wearing queens. I know this because I have seen this on Twitter via guerrilla mode.
Thank you, an Austrian painter, for the 333.
My hair is real. And it's extra offensive to me because I'm privileged. I'm a mixed race person. I have 3C hair. That's a looser curl pattern compared to someone with 4C, which is
I mean, look. There's some weird hair going on, isn't there? Across the board. Because different races have got different weird hairs, haven't they? You know? I know that there's some places where they specialize in black hair, don't they? They're like, if you're black, we're the place for you. Because we can deal with that. We can deal with that situation, you know? But I'm a bit lost here. What is this 3C to 4C hair? Okay, Stylo's got a lot to say. Talking about the kinkiness of your hair is such a first world problem. This is fucking insane. It's such a minuscule, meaningless issue. Right, I see. Okay, right. Okay, I get it.
But how do I make money off depressed people?
$3.33 from Guillermo.
Thanks for the super chat.
They're so against racism they become racist.
Right. Okay, I get it. So, this person is complaining and moaning about hair issues, and it is just a first world issue where, yeah, black person faces it, sure, but it's like not worth this level of fucking concern and bothersome conversation about it. Is that what we're saying? I don't know, man. I'm a bit lost on the hair shit. I'm neither black nor a woman nor trans, so I can't really relate to any of it. But
is kinkier, tighter. I'm half Mexican. I have
And
a
plus I'm
thick,
going bold.
looser texture. That doesn't take as long to show my length. I don't have as much shrinkage. So I have the privilege of having this good hair that texturous is used to describe people who only uplift looser curl patterns. But with all that being said,
what you did? There's another a texturist. Is that a thing? Is that a thing that they've just made up at the top of a texturist? Is that new? I've never heard of that term before. You're such a texturist. Oh my god. No, guys. Well, it's not a thing per se, but, you know, I mean, there's a Medium article about it. Okay, what is this? My Nigerian private secondary school was texturist on a daily basis. Guys, listen, racism, you know, it's not as bad as it used to be. The bigotry we experience is kind of dissipating, you know, certainly not at the 20s, let's put it that way, okay? So what we need to do is come out with new forms of oppression with which to present to the world that we can claim to be victimized under. So now, people that are doing this, they're texturists, all right? Is that not what is happening here? Is that not the situation? Literally creating new formats of oppression to claim in fucking Medium posts and stupid race fucking huckster magazines and shit. Institutional hairism. Texture noir. Guys, do not laugh at texture noir. That is a very serious form of oppression and bigotry that black women face. Do you know what? Sometimes it feels like I am just doing the fucking rightoid anti-SJW shtick. Maybe that's what I am now. But bro, this is insanity. How do people not look at this and go, this is crazy, this is absurd. We don't need to try this hard to seek out various forms of oppression. We can just say, hey, people are being kind of shitty about speaking about hair sometimes. Let's chill on that a little bit, you know? Silence, white boy. The noir is talking. We're so civilized and socially advanced that these people replace having to struggle in the coal mines with crying about these microaggressions. These motherfuckers have no purpose in life. This has got nothing to do with Keffals. I'm afraid I fucked up and it was an old video that someone linked. So this has nothing to do with Keffals beyond this person being an old foe of Keffals.
Is used to describe people who only uplift loose circle patterns. But with all
We
that
need to
being
change
said,
course.
let's get into this phenomenon. I have a few documented examples that I'd like to go into in this video, but before I do, I'd like to showcase these two clips from TikTok of two black women sharing their own point of views on this phenomenon.
I am getting so tired of people asking me, is this your real hair?
No, but like if this isn't the biggest backhanded compliment that you can give someone, I honestly don't know what is. Like I put it in the same category as you're pretty for a black girl. Because 9 times out of 10, when people
Look, call me soy nod me if you wish, okay? But look, obviously that's a shitty thing to say, okay? I guess I just question the level at which this is kind of experienced. Why are you saying it's okay? What do you mean? What do you mean when you say it's the mixed race women? What does that mean, Stylo? I don't understand. Why are people saying then? I don't know if I'm supposed to agree with that or not. That seems bad. That seems, what is it, colorism? It seems colorist. Am I being colorist? Oh my god, dude. What is happening? This segment's gone off the rails and now we've gone insane. They're trying to reconnect with their blackness by being overzealous. Right, okay. Okay. I've been told I'm well spoken. I asked in relation to what he said for black guys like you who grew up in London. Yeah, for sure. Listen, to be clear, I'm not saying that this is something that never happens. I'm sure that there's little weird, odd things that people say to you that make you feel a bit shitty because it's some aspect of your identity like that, right? But I think I can see where Stylo's coming from here. So what Stylo is pointing out here is not that it never happens, but that these people feel disconnected from their race. So because they're mixed race. So in order to try and compensate for that, they make a big deal they make a bigger deal than maybe other people might do about microaggressions that target their race. Is that what we're saying? Is that where we're coming from?
people ask me this question, there are girls of other ethnicities around that have hair even longer than mine, and they don't ask them if their hair is real. Then when I tell them that my hair is real, the next question is always, oh, well, where are you from? Like, you literally just admitted with that question that the only reason you asked me whether or not my hair was real was because of my race and nothing else. Like, I really just don't understand how people fix their mouths to ask somebody this question, especially somebody you do not know. It's always random people. Like, people who know me don't ask whether or not my hair is real, but random strangers do.
Hey y'all, Jay Nice on the mic.
I must say, it does seem to be that every single person is, you know, as Stylo's pointed out. Is this another mixed race person, right? I'm not trying to be bigoted against mixed race people. I'm just trying to point out and, you know, just point out the trend that I'm noticing. That's all, okay?
Mike. So I wanted to quickly share an interaction that happened recently on LinkedIn. There was someone that posted a black woman that posted a photo of herself rocking a black or natural hairstyle. And I commented and I was like, you know, go girl. And then I was like, another microaggression that I wish we would get rid of is asking black women if their hair is real. And there was a black woman presenting person that responded and said she didn't, or they didn't understand why.
Black woman presenting person. These descriptions of people are so confusing. What do you mean? What does that mean? Why can't people just speak normal about shit? What was the thing I saw the other day? I think it was a Guardian article. Someone called themselves an ovary haver. Or something like that. And it's like, dude, what's her name? Anna Kasparian was correct when she said that this language is weird and inhuman. And people freaked the fuck out and were acting like she was being super transphobic. Right? It is so crazy, the fucking loops we spin ourselves into to just avoid describing something which might be a little bit upsetting to someone, but it's just the easiest way for everyone to understand what we're talking about, right? Do you mean a woman? Do you mean a trans woman? Do you mean a fucking, you know, trans woman that is trying but not hard enough? Like, I don't know what they mean. I can't conceptualize that in my head of what they're talking about on the basis of that description. Which is the whole point of language, is to make it as simple as possible so that we can understand one another when we're trying to communicate ideas in a simple, quick fashion. Jesus Christ, man.
Asking a black woman if her hair is real was a microaggression. So I was like, this is a good teachable moment, right? Let me make this video real quick. I think what people fail to realize is black women are the only people that are questioned about their hair. Black women and black people in general are the only ones that are asked. People ask if they can touch our hair. People ask if our hair is real. People ask all of these invasive and intrusive questions about our hair, even though black women are not the only women that wear synthetic hair, that wear human hair. We are not the only race and demographic of people, and yet we are the ones that are asked the most. So yes, it's a microaggression if you're asking me and you're not asking Karen over there if her hair is real. Why also do you assume that black women's hair cannot be real? Why do you assume?
This is just reminding me of something, actually. Listen, despite all my fucking whatever on stream, I do try and raise my kids to be respectful. Like, I don't want them to be like fucking, even as a joke, they're too young to understand the nuances of racial humor or something like that, right? But it's quite funny how you see that they don't have those social standards in place to think not to say or ask certain things, right? So one of my boys was at soft play, or the jungle gym, whatever you want to call it, indoor jungle gym, play place, playing with another lad. And the other lad was, you know, had brown skin. And my kid goes to them, "Are you from another country?" Just blurts it out like that. And the kid was fine. He didn't like get upset. He's like, "No, I'm from here. I'm from this country." It's so funny, man. And it's like, people just kind of, I get that it sucks. I get that it sucks for you as an individual if you are experiencing that, like as an adult from another adult or something like that. Okay, I get that, whatever. But the reality is that people are sometimes going to say things and put their foot in the mouth and say something that isn't applicable and you don't like. I felt like we dealt with this microaggression shit ages ago and at least understood that, yeah, it's kind of shitty, but there's no need to make a massive deal out of it. Like, yes, people should try and be more respectful, but also don't go too crazy about it. Do you know what I mean? I felt like we'd already kind of got to that point. But yet now in 2024, apparently, we're still having the fucking microaggression conversation. And now we've come up for these new terminologies for hair-based microaggression, texturism, or whatever the fuck it is. Dude, it is difficult. It's difficult being a white Englishman having to solve all these race-based issues in America. It is a tough burden to bear, I must say.
Assume that our hair does not grow. All of these assumptions are based on stereotypes, and I think it's important that we like stop and check ourselves. So as a Black woman who's gotten the question many a time, is your hair real? And all of these other intrusive and invasive questions, I think it's important to rewire our brains to think about these questions that we're asking and that we're posing to our coworkers, and recognizing how in our effort to like make conversation, we could actually be engaging in micro and macro aggression. So
I mean, it does kind of look like a wig though, doesn't it? I mean, this is going to sound bad, and it kind of does. I wouldn't ask them, and I think it's inappropriate to ask someone that in a sort of public setting or whatever, but like, I mean, you can't really fucking deny it, can you? You can't. And also, I've seen plenty of videos, clips, memes, something like that. Sometimes in some fucking funny Oh, no, I'll tell you where I saw it. Who has seen the videos on eFucked where they bring in the most fucking beat women, okay? They bring in the most beat women and they just shit on them and talk shit, loads of fucking endless shit on them and how ugly they are and stuff like that, okay? Who has seen that on eFucked? Who knows what I'm talking about? Some people are going to freak out and go, oh my God, that's so weird. What are you on about? It's funny. It's funny. It's old school fucking crazy internet posting shit, okay? Because eFucked is funny and it's got funny things on there sometimes, okay? Anyway, they're like, they're kind of like doing their business very viciously with like a Black woman. And then they like rip her wig off. And then they like rip her wig off. And it's part of the kind of act. Obviously very bad, and I completely disavow, and it's wrong, but I couldn't help but laugh at the absurdity and racism. Terrible racism. I laughed as a sign of solidarity at how bad it was for the Black woman. But like, I can't play the video. It's pornographic, but call it a weave. Okay, sorry. It's not on YouTube. No, it's from a fucking porno thing.
hopefully that made sense. I was a little surprised and shocked that this person, I think she was a Black woman, or I think she identifies as a Black woman, but she didn't understand why asking that question was offensive. So I wanted to come up on here and make this video.
There's a lot we can examine in these two videos we just saw, but the first thing I want to go over in the first video is how she uses the parallel example of how it's basically simply saying that you're pretty for a Black woman, which is a huge microaggression with so much racism in that. It's something that Black women have heard all their lives. We've heard it from a lot of non-Black people who think it's a compliment when it's not. It's very much saying that you believe Black people are unattractive.
Oh my God, dude. I'm about to get one guide. Damn, dude, living up to the Chud name.
Okay, that's wonderful.
My God, guy.
But how do I make money?
Why are you being such a Chud? What's going on?
From
You're being a real Chud right now. Do you know that?
Suffer from
yes, I am being a Chud because I am, and I'm racist. You got it correct. I'm being racist because I love being racist. Funny. Being racist based. Correct.
Similar in the way how they're using this parallel to describe how they believe basically that Black people can't grow their hair, and it being this backhanded compliment of asking if it's real, because if it is, then ooh, nice hair. But if it isn't, what does that mean? In that moment, are they trying to humiliate us? And that's stuff that like I've experienced where I'm unsure of that, and that's something we'll be examining in a bit. But moving on to the next video.
Okay. There might be an exceptionally limited circumstance where someone might be trying to make you feel bad. But I think the most likely explanation is that someone has seen your hair. They're not used to seeing that, and they put their foot in their mouth and asking or saying something along those lines. I don't think people are coming up to you and going, I'm going to really make this Black person feel like absolute shit right now. Oh, is that a wig? Looks like a wig to me. I bet that pops right off, doesn't it, at the end of the day? When you go back to your fucking... Okay. It's curiosity, yeah. Curiosity. And look, as I say, My message to people is have some social awareness and don't do weird shit like that. But come on, man. This fucking broad narrative that this person is trying to paint is excessive. And also, these people talk about white people like in insane ways too, so fuck them. You know?
Yeah, she really laid it out, especially when she got to discussing why it's a microaggression and why it's not okay and how it's been something specifically solely used against Black women. But we'll get back on the microaggression part because that part is something we're going to be foreshadowing because you'll see me talk about microaggressions.
€5 from Punished Foxo. I want to be sure this money is going to Chud's hair transplant fund. No real reason, would just be funny if his hairline was 0.5 above his brows. GX.
Thank you. Guys, I appreciate the super chat. I'm probably not going to get a hair transplant or any sort of hair-based surgery. I'm just going to let nature take its course and, you know, assume that my levels of baseness will increase as I become bold, much like Harmful Opinions. Didn't a video just go out about the old Harmful Opinions? Dude. Look at this thumbnail, dude. Follicle fight. Dude, that is so good. The follicle fight.
And even just how me pointing out that it's a microaggression gets invalidated and discounted as a real major Black issue that should even be given a time or day. Now it's a good time for me to get into these real life examples. One is from Snapchat and the other is from a dating app. These two examples were really pivotal for the creation of this video. I held on to the Snapchat conversation for about 2 years and it's been kind of interesting. It's been a little bit over 2 years actually, more that I think about it, but it's a fact.
Wait, so hang on a minute. This person is trying to make this argument this happens so regularly, but they need to refer to a Snapchat conversation from 2 years ago to make the point. Yeah, someone was a bit shitty to me a couple of years ago, and I've really held on to it, and now I'm making a video about it. Jesus Christ, man.
That it was such a jarring moment. I was just kind of blindsided by just how everything transpired. So I'll be reading the messages, I'll be giving some context, and of course, everyone will be staying anonymous. They do have a little nickname that I have on there for them, but it's not their actual account name. As far as it goes for the dating app messages, I'll be reading it off of my phone, so you won't see their name or whatnot. So let's get into this very cringy, what led to the
Okay, respect for that. Respect for that. I will give credit to Soulbunni for that, because there's this really weird dynamic that exists now, where you can have like a kind of somewhat shitty experience on a dating app or something, and people see fit to just share the entirety of the conversation, including like an identifiable picture of the person on social media.
But how do I make money off
It's
the
so
press
insane,
people?
man.
I couldn't even tell this person is black. I assumed they were Indian, but I guess that's my pure Aryan superiority showing.
Thank you, a German politician, for the 333. Isn't it crazy though how like you go onto Twitter? I mean, I've not seen it for a while, but you get these posts and it's like, huh, look at what this guy said to me on Tinder. And it's like the most benign shit you can imagine, and they're just making a big deal out of it and sharing his first name and face of some dude that's completely private and is nothing to do with what's going on the internet in that way, you know?
in this video because this was this had pushed me to the edge, just understanding just like everything I know as a Black woman. It's like, no, I refuse to accept this. I chose to speak up for myself, and I think it's a great learning moment for folks to kind of see how to navigate these situations, especially if you're a Black woman, especially younger Black femmes, and not just Black women, but just Black people in general who are dealing with this, who don't know how to navigate white people or just non-Black people asking us if our hair is real. So what you're looking at right now is the Snapchat conversation. This is the first slide. I'll go through this, I'll read it out loud, and then I'll give the context of the situation so you can get the full picture of
what is this? Wall of text. Fucking hell, dude. Jesus Christ. Okay.
how everything went down, and how this is basically messages the day after the night we went out. I also add that I'm intentionally using a mocking voice to read all these messages, both the Snapchat and the dating app one. Let's dive straight into this. This just sounds entitled. If you often jump to that conclusion and feel offended by assuming he's targeting you, you're kind of setting yourself up to be offended.
Oh my God, it's the other person that's typed all this out. and they're going to read it in straw man voice. Let's go! We love a good straw man voice here, don't we, guys?
If I'm being 100, it's very much like you need this encounter to be racially charged for the sake of your own civil rights narrative. Now, moving on in this, I'm gonna have to fill in the blanks because some of his grammar and just typos, and he's like missing some words entirely. But I know what he means, so I'm reading out loud. You're gonna hear me say some things that aren't there. That's because he just was probably typing too fast and just too busy being a jerk. I support your right.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the message is okay, but, you know, Snapchat tends to be I've not used Snapchat for fucking years. But it tends to be quite a rapid backwards and forwards thing, not the kind of thing you type out a big old fucking message on. But anyway, if you're offended by assuming he's targeting you, you're kind of setting yourself to be offended. I mean, the actual content of the messages seems completely reasonable, and the person seems like, you know, fair in what they're saying here, but they're obviously acting super fucking offended about it.
To tell him that's none of your business, or that's offensive. But how are you to know his intentions, or if he has a cancer survivor's sister? Like, I have no clue what possessed him to say that. The situation literally felt as if it was artificially manufactured. Now, I don't know, and I'm telling you, you're maybe wrong. This is simply my perspective. Pretty much what I believe what this had said is, please know that the world is still learning about your people's issues. Like, and 100%, like, he's basically, which is wild. It's so wild that he would even say something like that. Like, he was basically, like, going on, like, oh, we're barely learning about Black issues. Mind you, this is in 2021, after George Floyd. So, I'm just like, dude, like, you're wild for even saying that.
Okay, right. Just reading through the message, considering this is 2 years old as well, this Beach Chair Bob character hasn't really done anything wrong to deserve this kind of, like, hashing of this out publicly like this. This is mental. I don't think it's a fucking Snapchat message, and this is probably some pseudonym, so I don't care that much. But what are they saying that's that insane? Yeah, you know? If you often jump to that conclusion and feel offended by assuming he's targeting, you're kind of setting yourself up to be offended. And what have we seen throughout this entire fucking video? This Soulbunni person, okay, finding every possible angle and opportunity to be offended and upset about shit, to the point where they're talking about texturism and coming up with new isms to specifically refer to bigotry related to fucking hairstyle, hair type. Yeah. I'm telling you, and I'm telling you now may be wrong. And I don't know. And I'm telling you may be wrong. This is simply perspective. Please know the world is still learning about everybody operates on equal moral ground in my book. When a white leftist defends a white man. What did I tell you? I told you earlier they used YT instead of white. And they look at them doing it here. How do you describe this kind of behavior from a so-called white ally? So this person presumably has got the correct takes about a lot of these fucking black issues, and it's still not enough. Complete and utter ideological conformity is the only option. You cannot have any consenting or dissenting opinion as a white ally. You have to agree with them 100%, or you get fucking mocked publicly because you said something they didn't like.
Which is wild. It's so wild that he would even say something like that. Like, he was basically like going on, like, oh, we're barely learning about Black issues. Mind you, this is in 2021, after George Floyd. So I'm just like, dude, like, you're wild for even saying that. It's very telling. And I'm not going to get into that, but
also, right, okay. Right. Also, on top of that as well, isn't it insane that this person is trying to use a black guy that was killed by a fucking police officer in the street and is trying to kind of leverage that to add to the absurdity of the person making this comment? What? What? Really? That's what we're going with? I've spoken a lot about my Floydism analysis and my point of view that there's a concept of discourse about race and how it's transformed and changed in the wake of the Floyd stuff and how it's got very gay and stupid. But yeah, to invoke that like this is mental to me.
I need to read the second slide so we can get into all this. In the second slide, he turns it up a notch. And I mean, really gets mask off with his bigotry. But with that being said, hear what I have to say. Who would like me reading this? Because he handled that situation so gracefully, I admit I froze when I should have sent him away. But I didn't see anything wrong with his question because you look like an anime character. Which is your right. But you gotta think people are going to be curious and ask. It's as if you intentionally baiting acts of curiosity you deem racially charged.
Oh my god, this person is so on the money. This person is 100% on the money. And I bet that's a thing. I bet that is a fucking thing as well, isn't it?
Okay, that's wonderful.
Look like a
But how
total
do I
fucking
make
freak.
money
And then
off
when people ask you about it,
€5
what?
from Punished Foxo. Hypothetical, you're on an island with Soulbunni and nobody else. How long until you start to think, damned if I don't, and assume the
Okay,
position?
I cannot answer that.
GX.
That is insane. But thank you for the €5. Dude, that is an insane question. Thank you very much. Do you know what it's like? It would be like me going out in a full-blown fucking clown outfit and then getting mad when people ask me why I'm dressed like a clown. You know? You really ask me why I'm dressed like a clown. What the fuck? Yeah, because you're dressed fucking weird and crazy. Of course people are going to fucking ask about it. And I can
that's
imagine...
wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
Thank you for the $2. I'm glad that I didn't read that out because it's under $3 because that is racist. Okay? Doom the Fool... Speak your truth, but I must disavow your comment as racist, okay? I mean, yeah, it's pretty obvious this person... I mean, dude. Yeah, this person is on the money. This person is just correct.
Dyed. Your hair is beautiful. Some wigs are beautiful. By simply not making assumptions, we can avoid these misunderstandings. At this point, your criticism of me is moot. I had to stop right there. I didn't know what that was. I thought it was just like a typo. I had to look that up. He is bold. He has a lot of audacity. Like, this is a white man. This is a white man telling a black woman that I'm mook. That my criticism is mook on my own hair, on my own plate. Like, the Caucasian. A lot of audacity right there. Making assumptions, we can avoid.
At this point, your criticism is mook. Oh no, they've misunderstood. What an idiot. Now this person is obviously an idiot for getting it wrong or whatever. They mean moot. At this point, your criticism of me is moot. You made a moot point. As in like a point not worthy of consideration. Or what is it definition? It's like, I know what it means, but it's like, what is it in definition? It's an irrelevant point. You made an irrelevant point against me because of other context, right? Something like that, right? That's what they're trying to say. But they've said it wrong. Okay. Which... irrelevant. Yeah, sure. Right? And then they've gone off on this tangent how they've called you mook. And that's not what they meant. No! Soulbunni, no, you're an idiot! You've... Oh my god! Wait, what's this again? What's this? How, they're kind of... They're looking for things to be offended by. What was it the person was saying earlier? Yeah, funny that, isn't it? So they're saying you look for things to get offended by and it's not the way to go. And here they are, trying to find offense in a misspelled word.
These misunderstandings. At this point, your criticism of me is mook. My criticism is mook on my own hair, on my own plate. Like, the caucasity of it all. But anyways, continuing.
Bro, what's that got to do with white people? This person is racist. Soulbunni is a racist freak. Soulbunni is a racist freak against fucking whites. That's all there is to it, okay? If I spoke like this about a black person and put all of this fucking impetus on their behavior being based on their race, I would rightly get called a fucking racist, okay? But this person can do all this shit to white people and these wokes don't seem to fucking care for a second about it, even though it is so obviously fucking racist what they're doing.
I hope you find value in my perspective. I certainly have learned from yours. Weaves can be super ballistic, but that was none of his business. You're right about that. But you're displaying yourself in public, so you can expect some interactions. I don't be making assumptions of people I don't know. That's the best I can do for now. So these are the only 2 slides I have from this. And I mean, like, I had like 6, 7 screenshots, but past me, deleted those. But let's break this down. Let's give some context So back in 2021, I went out drinking with a mobile date. Everything was going fine until we sat outside because it was really nosy inside. In the back in the outdoor area, it's more quiet. We got to have some drinks in peace until this white man that was blonde came up to me and said that my hair was beautiful, then followed it with, "Is it real?" In that moment, I was just caught off guard because I was like just enjoying myself. I was having a first time date, and this person just blindsided me with this type of just ignorant comment. I'm not used to this type of question. At this point in my life, I think I've...
And this person is still seething about it 2 years later. Dude. I've had people say way worse to me fucking 6 months ago and I've forgotten about it. Let alone 2 years ago. Are you serious? What, dude? Come on, really? You're really still seething about this to make a video? And again, I'll make the same point I made earlier. You're acting like this is some sort of common occurrence and you have to go back 2 years to an example to bring up about it. Absurd.
I've only been asked maybe like twice in my life if my hair is real, maybe 3. At this point, I'm really new in my PWI, only been there for a couple months, and I just couldn't bear just sitting there in awkwardness. So for the first time, out of the first few times, I made a decision to reverse Uno the awkwardness. Since you want to make me feel uncomfortable, let me throw that right back in your face. I told him, "That's racist." This person flipped out. Like they...
God, this person... Yeah, PWI is predominant white institution, okay? This person sounds utterly insufferable, you know? This person sounds completely, insanely insufferable that happens and they go, you're being kind of racist. Obviously, the guy that you were with probably thought, God, this person's a bit much.
Instead of just saying sorry and just walked off, they had to stand there. Mind you, they're wasted. They are just incoherent. They're caught off guard that I reverse Uno the discomfort to them.
So they were drunk as well. This person drunkenly asked you a question that you found offensive and you called them racist. What an insufferable freak with no social skills, seriously. And still talking about it years later on this video. What's going on, bro?
I reiterate how it was a racist question because it was solely based on me being black. Like the bonehead drunk he just kept stumbling on his words. He kept trying to find excuses, anything and everything other than apologizing and just walking off. And I was just getting frustrated because he just kept talking and I was just not trying to hear it. Because at this point, I'm like, no, like you interrupted my date and me talking. And I just checked it. My date tries to cut me off to go try to like defuse it in a way that he thought I was like going about things wrong. Basically angry black woman me. But I had to cut him off real fast. Like, nah, you don't speak for me. I was like,
angry black woman meme. If you don't want to get the ugly black... Fuck it, I misspoke. I fucked it up. Cut that out. Cut that out. Cut that out in fucking in post. Okay, if you don't want to get the angry black woman meme, perhaps don't act like an angry black woman. There's an idea for you. Is that crazy? Is that really that a crazy ask? That the moment that someone makes some offensive comment, you immediately start calling them fucking racist? When you could have handled that with a lot more fucking tact. A fucking drunk guy says a shitty thing to you in a bar. Yeah, that happens. That happens to fucking everyone, okay? Like, this context makes it even crazier. I mean, if it was a situation where it was like an office or something, you know, I don't know, maybe there might be a bit more room to be like, okay, that's kind of a shit. This is a fucking drunk guy at a bar. Drunk guys at bars say crazy shit all the time. Welcome to going to a bar where people are drunk and say stupid shit.
Being very assertive and like, nah, like, so I moved on with that. He was saying how his sister wears wigs as well, which I followed with, like, I don't care if she has alopecia, that has nothing to do with my hair being real. It went from me going off on the guy that asked me if my hair is real to me going off on my date as I'm showcasing.
This person is insufferable. I feel like after 2 years, you would have a level of self-reflection. Like, you know that thing where you think back to how you acted about something 2 years ago or 5 years ago, where you go, oh, fuck, I should have been a bit more chill, done this. Everyone has that moment. It seems like this person is totally incapable of that and just wants to continue on this idea that they were totally correct at the time, actually, and everything's, you know, when very clearly this person was being obtuse and obnoxious excessively in response to a guy being a drunk dickhead at a bar, you know? I mean, even if he was being a drunk dickhead, it just sounds like his inhibitions were lowered and he said something that he might not normally say in another social situation, but it wasn't completely outrageous. And oh my God, dude. Crazy. Crazy times.
He's saying that he doesn't know anything he's talking about, that he doesn't even know black issues. I asked him who Angela Davis was. He didn't know who that was. He didn't know anyone but Martin Luther King. So it was just like very showing me, like, why are you mansplaining me on my own issues? You can't even.
He only knew the most famous black advocate in history. He only knew that guy was. Yeah, sorry we don't know all your weird little fucking... I don't even know what she said. I didn't even hear her properly. Huh? Huh? Is that right? I don't know.
Even speak to it. At this point, I'm fuming. I'm mad. I want to leave. But he's like, no, don't go. I'll buy you a drink. I go inside.
Oh, Angela Davis.
And we're still arguing because I'm frustrated with the way he handled the situation. How he put all this energy on comforting this white man that's just like so bigoted. At this point, after this last drink, I leave. So the next day, I wake up and I'm pissed about it. I tell him how I feel. And we have this back and forth. Yeah, that was the whole backstory. The way he was talking to me was so dismissive. He also just kept like disrespecting me. That was a wild moment. A few days after that, I went to Ace Hardware just to go get snacks. And the cashier asked me if my hair was real. He was checking out this old white woman in the line. And she was staring at me waiting for my answer. Mind you, my hair wasn't even purple, wasn't pink. My hair was just brunette. But even going back to like the Bumble date, like the fact that I was told that I look like an anime character, I wasn't giving, you know, specialized bangs. I wasn't even giving bright colors. I was just a black person with thick hair that was a brunette. Nothing special. That was just a tiny glimpse into what I would endure for the rest of my stay in my current PWI. It's gone upwards to at least 30 times that a white person, not always white, but usually.
When she says PWI, my stay at a PWI. What is that? Does that mean like just a town or what? I don't understand. College or something? Is that it? I'm thinking. In America, where are you going to go that's not a PWI? The vast majority of places there's going to be loads of fucking white people around because it's a white majority country.
White asking me if my hair is real. And don't even get me started when I finally dye my hair bright colors. So this next story, I was selling my art at Art Market. It was one of the most scariest experiences that I had. At this point, it was a pick and choose whether I call them racist or not, because it just depends on my mood. It depends on, do I feel like really going back and forth? Do I just stare at them? It was just like kind of like choosing my battles. So these tweets that I made in October 2022, I lay out how everything went down. Honestly, this video is such a simplification of the scary experience I had when correcting a white man that asked if my hair was real, repeatedly. Every single event I table at, I get at least 2 white people bold enough to ask me if my hair is real, instead of just admiring it. It's the fact that I now don't even...
Oh my God. Instead of just admiring it. These people want to be admired. That's the fucking capital B black text rule. White you can put in lowercase, but black has to be capitalized. Okay? You must admire the hair. Do not ask about it. Simply admire.
feel safe tabling at art markets alone due to his intense reaction, saying, "Really now," in front of my niece, when I simply told him it's racist to ask black women if their hair is real in 2022. Instead of walking away, he kept yelling until he ultimately left, but then he came right back after he handed off his niece and came behind my table where I was sitting. He went right back to saying, "Really now." I was so scared that I stayed quiet and he just kept going at it and eventually called me a robot for being mute. No one has ever came to the back of my table, seen all those people walk by while I was alone, silently scared, hoping he'd just walk away already.
So is this a different incident? And this is in 2022. Any recent examples you can point to at all? Or we have to go back years for this?
I'm a full-time artist, so tabling events are what gets me my rent, but I shouldn't have to endure constant racism and questioning of the authenticity of my pink hair. I used to stay quiet when they'd rudely ask me, but once my hair was dyed pink, the questionings went up 400%. So much so that I just started to call them out on their racism because I could only tolerate so much as one black trans artist in a PWI. Thank God this middle-aged white man didn't know that I was trans, or things honestly could have been so much worse. This scary, traumatizing situation is what made me give my full focus to school, what made me stop doing art full time, it's what made me solely do art shows, and lucky I have YouTube, and especially my patrons, that makes it where I don't have to put myself in public, because now I'm so afraid, out of the fear of someone potentially going behind my table, just the way this man did. And I shouldn't have to be afraid. I shouldn't have to be afraid to sell my art. People should be able to admire what I create without asking me if my hair is real. Or if they enjoy my hair, they can just admire it. But that was taken away from me. That joy. Now, I stick to the safety of school and working from home. But with that being said, let's get to the very last story, as this one puts...
Okay, so... This person clearly doesn't have many fucking problems in their life if the thing that they want to fucking talk on is the couple of times that people were shitty to me, made a shitty comment towards me about my hair that I felt was racist. These people need real fucking problems, is what they need. Okay? They need to be transported to, okay? They need to go through a time machine somewhere, and I'll say no more, okay? To feel what real oppression is like.
It's the icing on the cake of them all. And it's the most baffling because this came from a black man on a dating app. Something I never anticipated encountering. Just me and this person not matching and solely having screenshots of the conversation because it was so shocking. I'll be reading off my phone, but you'll be seeing a slideshow of photos of me chronologically of my hair journey from high school all the way upwards to current day. I hope this isn't taken in an offensive way. It's entirely plausible that it's the volume and the color that has the authenticity called into question, not your race. Individuals with hair like yours aren't super common, so it's very possible that a lot of these situations might have little to nothing to do with race at all. It's a very unique hairstyle, and it isn't uncommon for individuals with more eccentric hairstyles to have the authenticity occasionally questioned. The same.
This guy is spitting. This dude is fucking spitting right now.
Can happen to a white person with dyed hair that exceeds their waist. It can just be a simple matter of uncommon nature of the style. I hear what you're saying, but at least they aren't overtly racist. So as long as nobody's swinging from trees and crosses aren't being burnt, it really doesn't bother me too much. Moments like those are just moments where I politely inform them the truth or any mild offense, if there even was any. But in most cases, I'm just really unfazed. I feel like our society has bigger fish to fry than microaggressions, you know? I'm not saying none of the cases has nothing to do with race. I'm simply saying that it's very well could be the matter of eccentricity, which isn't a word. It's so silly that he even said that. In certain cases,
eccentricity. Eccentric.
Welcome
He's
to
trying to say
Chud
eccentric.
Nation.
Stop the microaggressions.
This dude is based. He was telling you straight. You should have listened to him.
On account of the unique nature of it. Wigs are
That is a word,
it can be very convincing. Sure, a black man like me would certainly.
I mean, like, is it really that?
From their Ali arm, Chico, is this person trying to argue that they are not angry, or that they are not black? My lying eyes see both.
Thank you for the
Also,
$10.
pink hair is not real.
Yeah, it is a real world. Eccentricity, yeah, it is. Okay. But is it really that crazy that this person would have someone come up to them and ask them questions regarding their hair? Look at the hair. Dude, it looks insane. Of course people are going to fucking ask questions about that.
Be able to tell, but someone with limited experience with black hair is far more likely to make the mistake. Also, while my hair may be different, I too have the nature of it called into question many times, especially in said place I live. I had women ask me how I get it so curly, how long it takes to curl it, or you guess it, whether it's a wig. I just think in a world where the black community is facing actual problems like incarceration, systematic racism, police brutality, and the lack of resources in black communities, issues such as microaggressions really aren't worth the time of mine at all. There's just so.
This dude also, like, clearly he's not like a sort of conservative guy. He's clearly a progressive black guy. And yet he is getting chastised for not having the full ideological perspective that she's got in regards to, you know, the black hair issue, the microaggression of getting asked about the hair, when he himself is talking about having had that same fucking experience. Fucking hell, dude.
So much more at stake and much more bigger issues with bigger consequences. There's just so much more important things in this country to be mad about than hair. LOL. There was a lot said here, so this is a couple things I'm going to go over that just caught my eye since this was just hella problematic. And
how on earth are you going to have a problem with a black guy who has also experienced what you're complaining about, saying it's not that big a deal, there's bigger fish to fry, which is just true, by the way. It's just fucking correct, okay? If you went and polled 100 fucking black people across a variety of different fucking...
How do I make money off depressed people?
$5 from just a normal bottle of mustard. This stupid C word I can't say. Thinks eccentricity is a fake word but says...
True!
caucasity.
I think it's $5. How on... This is madness.
Just so dismissive. He's coddling white people. He's coddling white people.
If you were to poll 100 black people... You know, name the top 3 issues that are facing black people in society, okay? Do you think a significant proportion of them would say that the microaggression of being asked about your hair is one of them? That person's just correct.
Go out of their way to ask whether black women's hair is real or not, whether it's a wig or not, when it's none of their business. For one, it's a straw man to compare black women who dye their hair to a white person with their hair exceeding their waist, which is so rare. Black people dyeing their hair is not on the rarity of someone that has their hair exceeding their waist, which is already rare as is, dyed or not. He's going these extreme lengths to defend white people. Him saying that white people...
Oh no, a black guy's going too far to defend whites. I'll call the fucking alarms, guys. In our community, of black people, black wokes. All we do is criticize, shit on, and chastise whites. Defending them is too much, okay? If you aren't completely and utterly destroying white people with your every fucking utterance, that's not acceptable to our black community, okay?
Can't tell whether it's a wig or not. Like, literally, that's none of their business. They don't need to know or not. Just compliment a black woman and go about their day. Also, this like bigger fish to fry type of thing, like that's what annoyed me. He doesn't understand, like, you can walk and chew gum. We can talk about incarceration. We can talk about systematic racism while also acknowledging microaggressions. Dude, like, there's a long history with black hair, especially affecting black.
God, I fucking hate the way that walk and chew gum is used to say, we can talk about massive issue that deserves a lot of fucking attention and this nothing issue that no one should really care about that much. Yeah, you can walk and chew gum at the same time, guys. Stupid.
Black women. What I will say, though, is this level of coddling is embarrassing, and it reminds me why a lot of black femmes and queer folks stick to each other, because of cis-het men who mansplain, who undermine, who dismiss our experiences. So I will end off this video saying, if you see this ever happening, if you see someone white doing that, don't coddle them. This is a video I've been wanting to make forever, and I'm glad that I got this message out. So with all that being said, thank you for being patient, listening. I also have a Patreon, I have a Ko-fi, I have a moving fund.
I'm pretty sure I covered the moving fund before. Wait, they still got the moving fund. Okay, we need to have a look at that. We need to have a little look at that. Okay. I mean, like, you don't have to coddle people, okay? But it's this weird dichotomy they seem to have created, where it's either you coddle them or you call them racist. There's probably a more tactful way that you can deal with that situation. And guess what? Whites have got to deal with that as well. Okay? It's not just blacks that have got to deal with that. Us whites do too. Of situations require in your normal day-to-day life a bit of fucking tact to navigate and manage when someone says something that maybe you don't like. And this person is acting like it's a black person issue. God, it is so fucking insufferable, man.